Good morning, America, and welcome to the latest edition of the Daily Global Pulse. The latest headlines that are shaping our world right now, from escalating tensions in the Middle East that could rattle oil markets and global security, to heartbreaking domestic tragedies here at home, to major policy moves and regional crises. We have a packed show. We'll break it all down with the facts, the context, and what it means for you. Stay with us. We begin with the developing international crisis that has markets on edge and diplomats scrambling. President Donald Trump announced today that the United States Navy has seized an Iranian-flagged cargo ship, the Tuska, in the waters near the Strait of Hormuz. According to the White House briefing, the USS Spruance issued multiple warnings after detecting the vessel attempting to breach the ongoing blockade in the Gulf of Oman region. When the ship failed to heed instructions, naval forces fired on its engine room to disable it, and U.S. Marines boarded and took control. President Trump personally confirmed the operation in a short statement, calling it a necessary step to enforce sanctions and protect international shipping lanes from Iranian aggression. Iran has responded swiftly and defiantly. Tehran dismissed the U.S. claims as fabricated war propaganda and vowed retaliation while simultaneously announcing the resumption of commercial flights in the area. Oil prices surged more than 4% in early trading on fears of supply disruptions through the critical Strait of Hormuz, which handles about 20% of global oil traffic. Analysts say this incident comes at a fragile moment. A temporary ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran is set to expire in the coming days, and both sides are accusing the other of bad faith. Adding to the tension, the administration is sending a high-level delegation, reportedly including Vice President G.D. Vance, to Pakistan for potential peace talks with Iranian representatives. However, sources close to the Iranian side indicate skepticism that Tehran will even attend, citing continued U.S. military presence and sanctions. This marks the latest chapter in a long-running standoff that has seen proxy conflicts, cyber attacks, and naval incidents multiply in recent months. Economists warn that prolonged instability could push gasoline prices higher at the pump here in the United States, affecting everything from commuting costs to food supply chains. We'll continue monitoring this story as it develops and bring you live updates from the region throughout the hour. Shifting now to a devastating story out of Louisiana that has stunned the nation. In Shreveport, authorities report that 31-year-old Shamar Elkins killed 8 children, 7 of them his own, ranging in age from 1 to 14 in what police are describing as a domestic violence rampage that spanned multiple homes. A 9th child and 2 women were also injured in the shootings. The suspect was later killed in an encounter with responding officers. This has been called one of the deadliest mass shootings involving children in recent U.S. history. Law enforcement officials say the incident began as a domestic dispute that rapidly escalated into gunfire across several locations in the early morning hours. Neighbors described hearing rapid shots and seeing chaos as first responders rushed to the scene. The community is in mourning, with candlelight vigils already forming outside. Local churches. President Trump offered condolences via social media, stating, "Our hearts break for these innocent children and their families. We must address the root causes of this violence." Gun control advocates and mental health experts are calling for immediate reviews of domestic violence firearm restrictions, while others point to broader societal issues including family breakdown and access to mental health services. This tragedy comes only days after separate shooting incidents in Kansas City, where 2 teenagers were killed, and in Iowa City's Ped Mall area. Law enforcement across the Midwest is on heightened alert, and federal officials have pledged to review patterns in these cases. For families watching tonight, counselors are available through the National Domestic Violence Hotline and local crisis centers. Our thoughts remain with the victims' loved ones as they face unimaginable loss. We will bring you more on the investigation as details emerge. Closer to home in terms of policy impact, India's capital region is buzzing with news of a new draft semiconductor policy aimed at turning Delhi into a major global chip design and manufacturing hub. The policy outlines incentives for investment in research and development, semiconductor fabrication, and advanced packaging. Government sources say the move is designed to attract billions in foreign direct investment, create thousands of high-tech jobs, and reduce reliance on imports from Taiwan and South Korea. Industry leaders have welcomed the announcement, noting that India's growing talent pool in engineering could position the country as a key player in the global supply chain amid ongoing U.S.-China tech tensions. Meanwhile, a horrific industrial accident in Tamil Nadu has claimed at least 20 lives. An explosion ripped through a fireworks manufacturing unit in Virudhunagar district early this morning. Rescue teams are still searching the debris, and officials confirm the death toll could rise. The factory owner has reportedly fled the scene. prompting a manhunt and calls for stricter safety regulations in the fireworks industry, which is a major employer in southern India but has a history of deadly accidents due to lax oversight and overcrowded facilities. Local politicians are demanding a full investigation and compensation for the victims' families. On the diplomatic front, Prime Minister Narendra Modi made headlines during a campaign stop in West Bengal when he paused for a casual snack break, famously requesting jalmuri, the popular spicy puffed rice street food. The moment, captured on video, quickly went viral and humanized the leader amid intense electioneering. Supporters praised his relatability, while critics called it a calculated photo opportunity. Either way, it dominated social media and local news cycles. In business news, India's LPG cylinder demand has dropped below 50 lakh units for the first time in recent memory, signaling shifting energy consumption patterns possibly linked to higher prices and the push toward electric alternatives. Economists are watching closely to see if this trend accelerates. Turning to other global developments, New Zealand is grappling with severe flooding in the North Island that has displaced hundreds and disrupted transportation. Political leaders there are also facing new polls showing shifting voter sentiment ahead of upcoming elections. In China, engineers celebrated the completion of a major section of the Yangtze River Tunnel project, a massive infrastructure feat expected to ease congestion and boost regional trade. Back in the US, the Election Commission equivalent bodies are cracking down on social media misinformation ahead of midterm cycles, issuing warnings to platforms about coordinated inauthentic behavior. And in sports, the IPL continues to captivate cricket fans worldwide with high-stakes matches. Bhichi Fujitagarkar's contract extension was announced today, ensuring continuity in Indian cricket administration. Taking a step back, today's headlines paint a picture of a world balancing on multiple tightropes, geopolitical flashpoints that threaten energy security, heartbreaking acts of violence that challenge our sense of safety at home, ambitious policy pushes that could reshape economies, and smaller human moments that remind us leaders are still people. The seizure of the Iranian vessel raises the stakes in the Middle East at a time when markets are already jittery. The Louisiana tragedy forces us once again to confront the human cost of unchecked domestic violence and gun access. India's semiconductor ambitions and the Tamil Nadu disaster highlight both opportunity and the human price of rapid industrialization. As citizens, we must demand accountability from leaders on all sides. We must support policies that prevent future tragedies while protecting legitimate rights. We must stay informed because these stories do not exist in isolation. They ripple across borders and into our daily lives through gas prices, job markets, and national security. Before we sign off, a quick look at markets. Wall Street opened mixed, with energy stocks gaining on Middle East news while tech shares dipped on supply chain worries. The Dow is up 80 points in early trading. We'll have full closing numbers later. Thank you for joining us on the Daily Global Pulse. Our team will continue tracking every angle of these fast-moving stories. If you have questions or want deeper dives, drop them in the comments. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you tomorrow with the latest.